Welcome back then guys to this live stream after what had been a boring Monaco Grand Prix. That's even with that crash at the end. And it's now time for the sprint race for IFMC GP2 here at Magny-Cours. And if you didn't see what happened in the feature race yesterday, quite some interesting stuff as well, especially in the championship. But in the end, Pierre Gasly in the Ecademy car went on to win the race with Felix Rosenqvist in second after championship contender George Russell crashed out of turn 3, which now leaves Felix Rosenqvist the new championship leader as a result, leading this championship going into this race by 8 points as a result of him also setting the fastest lap as well. Well, as you know, the top 8 gets reversed, and as you can see this time around, double celebration for Ecademy, I suppose, potentially, for Sergey Camaro in his second race back in GP2. Is starting on pole ahead of Luca Ghiotto. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one fares out. We've got 21 laps of action coming your way here at Magny-Cours. So before we start then, let's mute this, turn this up a little, and let's have a look at the grid for the sprint race here at Magny-Cours. Here we go then, so on pole position it's Sergey Camaro with Luca Ghiotto in second, Nobuharu Matsushita lines up in third with Lando Norris in fourth, Nato starts fifth with Sergey Sirotkin in sixth position, new championship leader Felix Rosenqvist is seventh with yesterday's winner Pierre Gasly in eighth position, Lynn will start in ninth with Lance Stroll in 10th position, Nyck Vries is in 11th with Yuri Vips in 12th position, in 13th place we have Sean Gallile in the Holy Trinity racing car, Joel Eriksson joins him alongside in 14th position. Then the two Willows Grand Prix cars lock out row 8 with Louis Razzie at 15th and Jolyon Palmer in 16th. Dan Ticktum starts 17th with Sasha Fenestraz in 18th position. George Russell is in 19th with Mitch Evans in 20th. And then on the back row of the grid it is Luca and Santiago Urrutia. And that is the grid for the sprint race here at Magny-Cours. So there is the grid then, guys, for the sprint race and the weather. It is bright and sunny, so leave your predictions, but without further ado, let's get to the sprint race. So, here we are then, here at Magny-Cours. It's Camaro on the left of your screens. It is Ghiotto on the right, who's going to get the lead into turn 1 as we wait for the 5 red lights to go off to signify the start of the sprint race here at Magny-Cours. 3 lights are on, 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on. And we are underway for the sprint race here at Magny-Cours. It's a good start from Camaro. He seems to get a better start than what Ghiotto has. Ghiotto slots behind as they go down towards turn 1. 3 wide into the first corner. Looks like Lando Norris has had a good start to get himself up into third place to get ahead of Nobuharu Matsushita. As everybody got through the first couple of corners okay. It seems like it. Urrutia bringing up the rear of the field, but it's Camaro who leads away. But Ghiotto right on the backside of him now then as they go down the back straight now then towards the hairpin. Nato having to go at Matsushita behind. Down towards the hairpin. Camaro goes defensive and keeps hold of the lead for now to go down to the hairpin. Now the Rosenqvist going for a big dive down to the hairpin and he takes 5th place with ease. Brilliant stuff from Felix Rosenqvist, the championship leader, up into 5th place. Nato down to 6th as everybody got through the hairpin okay. There's a little bit of argy-bargy but not too much going on there, and everybody gets through okay there. Russell loses a few places as a result of the hairpin. Evans now bringing up the rear. Seti Camaro leading the way. Ghiotto second. Norris is starting to close in 3rd place in the Lightbase Sony racing car as they head down towards the second chicane now then for the first time today. Through the right and left hander we go now then as Camaro now approaches the final few corners on the track then as he tries to get away now from Luca Ghiotto, and it looks like Ghiotto will soon have to fend off perhaps from Lance Stroll. Meantime now we've got a battle for 4th place and moves in now because Felix Rosenqvist has a look and Nobuharu Matsushita into the chicane, but Matsushita blocks him off and keeps on the 4th place, and now a whole gaggle of cars start to form behind Matsushita's Holy Trinity racing car as they head into the final corner. So at the end of lap 1 of 21 then here for the sprint race, it's Camaro who leads, Ghiotto second, Norris in 3rd, Matsushita 4th, Rosenqvist in 5th, Nato in 6th. And that's that really. Nato bringing up the top 6, but it looks like Sirotkin's trying to find a way through on him if he can now. Then, as meantime, Rosenqvist lines up a move on Nobuharu Matsushita as they come down the back straight now. Then Norris not close enough to make a pass on Ghiotto. Rosenqvist looks to the inside. Matsushita covers him up, but will Rosenqvist get around him down into the hairpin now? Then he doesn't. He's going to stay single file. And oh, Sirotkin's gone for a big crash and nearly collects Felix Rosenqvist there. A big spin from Sergey Sirotkin down into the hairpin there. What on earth happened there? It looked like the Vries was trying to get a run on into the hairpin. Let's quickly have a look then. So as you can see, Sirotkin trying to have a go. And Norris looks to the inside. And then, oh, I don't think Sirotkin was expecting the Vries to be there. Two spinners down at the hairpin. And I want to see it from Rosenqvist's perspective because I bet he had his heart in his mouth there for a minute there. We need to look at it from Rosenqvist's perspective because, well, it looked like Sirotkin nearly collected him with him. As they go into the hairpin, let's have a look then. As they go into the hairpin, as you see, Matsushita goes very defensive into the hairpin. Whoa! As you can see, Sirotkin nearly collects him there. So lucky Rosenqvist didn't get collected. But, wow, Sirotkin, look, he hasn't even binned it. He's only lost an end plate, but has he out-beached it into the gravel? As a result, De Vries is able to get it going, albeit down in 21st now. Sirotkin might have beached it into the gravel. That incident will have to be investigated for sure. But, wow, who would have saw that, to be honest with you, as Sirotkin, now then, as you can see, stuck in the gravel, it must be said. As out of the race he goes then, so out of the race goes Sergey Sirotkin, and we're now down to 21 runners. He's beached it into the gravel, and that's Sirotkin's race over with as a result. Meantime, Rosenqvist obviously lost a bit of time as a result. He had to jam on the brakes because of Sirotkin coming in that very quick around the hairpin. As Sirotkin sets another fastest lap of 1 minute 18.201. He's pulling away from Ghiotto as Norris starts to get onto the gearbox of him now. Then as they go in towards turn 3. Through the right hand, there we go now then, heading up towards the hairpin. A lot of curb being used on the outsides. They go down the back straight towards the hairpin now. Then Rosenqvist back on the prowl of Matsushita. And it looks like Norris again, not close enough to make a pass on Ghiotto. But will Rosenqvist try and move on Matsushita into the hairpin this time? Matsushita defends. And rightfully so keeps all the places. Meantime, down the inside goes Alex Lynn on Norman Nato into the hairpin. And he takes the place. Up into 6th place goes Alex Lynn in the Macamo now then. As it looks like Gasly's taken 8th from Stroll. So up to P8 goes Pierre Gasly, yesterday's winner. Up in place, but it looks like Stroll's trying to get him back into the chicane. But Gasly having none of it fends him off. And now Stroll finds himself into the clutches of Yuri Vips in the RSPCA racing car now then. As meantime, as they go into the chicane, Norris now right onto the gearbox of Luca Ghiotto as they now approach the chicane. Round the right hand, there we go. As now out of the corner now, then using a lot of curb on the outside there then. So now through in towards the chicane. Around the final chicane, round the final corner and onto the pit straight. Nice. Starting to get a run now on Luca Ghiotto. Rosenqvist still stuck behind Matsushita at this stage of the race as I go flat through turn 1. Norris trying to find a way through on Ghiotto as best as possible as they round turn 3 now then on the track. And will Norris find a way through on Ghiotto this time. Coming out of turn 3, heading down the back straight towards the hairpin. And will he be able to pull the move off as they head in towards the hairpin now then? As you see, Ghiotto goes defensive, but Norris again not close enough. Rosenqvist has dropped back a bit now from Matsushita. At this point, looks like everybody's starting to separate a little bit. Well, I'd say that Yo is trying to have a run on Fenestras for P12, but he fends the inside there. Then as Razia having to fend off from Eriksson to keep hold of the place as Palmer has a go. To Tictum, isn't able to make that move. Russell still down in 19th at this rate. At this stage, Rosenqvist will increase his lead in the championship up to 10 points. If it remains like this, could be 11 if he finds a way through on Nobuharu and Matsushita. But so far, he's not holding on to the fastest lap anyway. So far, that's being held on to by current race leader Sergio Kamara as they go down towards the second chicane. And then around the final 4 corners, we go on the track now then. As Rosenqvist feeds the car in through these section of corners up towards the last chicane we go. Round the right, left, and then up towards the final corner we go on the track now. Then Rosenqvist getting a run on Matsushita. Is Norris about to get a run on Ghiotto as they go flying through turn 1 on the track now. Then through turns 2 and 3 we go. As they come out of turn 3, Norris, will he finally get a run on Ghiotto? Down this back straight this time. He's trying to get into the slipstream of the Italian as Rosenqvist tries to get a run on Matsushita down into that back straight. He's going to have a go again. Norris not close enough to make a move on Ghiotto. That time around, Rosenqvist got blocked off, but can he try it into the hairpin now? Then Matsushita defends, but then does a dummy. Does Rosenqvist down the inside into the hairpin? Has he got the place? And yes, he has. Up into 4th place goes Felix Rosenqvist. He gets the move done on Matsushita and moves up into 4th. And now Matsushita finds himself into the clutches of Alex Lynn's Macamo car as now Rosenqvist is next next target will be the battle for second between Ghiotto and Norris now then, as they just feed their way around the section of corners now before heading down the hill towards the right-left chicane on the track. Through they go, as Seti Kamara will soon be starting lap 6 of 21 here at Magny-Cours. So when he crosses the line, we will have, I believe, 16 laps remaining in this sprint race. As now up towards the last chicane we go on the track. As now through towards the final corner and onto the pitch straight. It looks like Norris not close enough. Looks like Ghiotto might be starting to form a gap a little bit, it must be said, as we now look at this battle for 5th place. In fact, there's a huge train of cars forming behind him at this stage of the race now, then, as they head down the back straight towards the first corner. And as you can see, Lynn now starting to get a run on Masashita at this part of the track. In fact, is Norris going to get a run on Ghiotto this time around as they come down the back straight? Is he close enough? It doesn't look like, again, he's close enough to get the Italian. So Ghiotto holds on to second. That's despite the fact that Ghiotto's having to go defensive into the hairpin there. Then, as meantime, now will Lynn go for the move on Nobuharu Masashita. He's not close enough. As meantime, Gasly down the inside of his fellow compatriot Norman Nato into the hairpin, and he takes the place. Up into 7th place goes Pierre Gasly, and now Nato will be in the clutches of Stroll. Looks like Stroll's got away from Vips. Looks like Vips is busy having to fend off from Sean Golile's Holy Trinity Racing car. As they go for the chicane, Lynn still stuck behind Masashita's Holy Trinity Racing car as they now feed their way round this left-hander now, then through the right, and then through these next section of corners we go down towards the right-left chicane on the track. And so Norris now then round these final few corners we go, as he tries to get hold of Ghiotto into that final chicane. Seti Kamara now then up towards the final corner as he continues to increase his lead at the front while those two are fighting it out, as he starts lap 7 of the race now then of 21. So I think that's 15 laps to go. As now heading down the pit straight now then, Norris is now starting to drop back now from Ghiotto, and Rosenqvist slowly starts to close in. Meantime, will Lynn try and get Masashita now for P5 as they make their way flat out through turn 1 and then through turns 2 and 3. We've got a yellow flag. Why is it yellow? It's Seti Kamara! The Ecademy driver has spun. Sergey Seti Kamara, the race leader, has binned his chances of a victory and has lost his rear wing in the process. Oh, what a shame. He was looking good for the victory. Luca Ghiotto now leads the race as a result and has got Norris to fend off. But Kamara has cost himself a chance of the win here at the sprint race. Is he out of the race? Has he beached it in the gravel? And I bet Ecademy cannot believe it. He had pretty much the victory in the bad, but he's dropped it down at turn 3. Seti Kamara, will he be able to get the car moving and get it back to the pits? He is able to, but it's going to be a long trip to get back to the pits without a rear wing. He goes for another spin on the grass there. And, wow, Kamara, as mentioned, costs himself a chance of his first ever GP2 victory in only his second race back. And, wow, that's that for him, really. Kamara's race ruined. It now leaves Luca Ghiotto leading the race here at Magny-Cours. Rosenqvist up to 3rd at this rate. The gap will be 12 points between himself and Russell if it stays like this. As in the meantime, Lynn had to go and Masashita into that second chicane. Wasn't able to make the move stick that time around. Norris now, knowing that that's the battle for the lead now, he's going to try and push hard and see if he can try and get hold of Ghiotto in this race as they round the final corner and onto the pit straight we will go. And Norris not close enough that time around. Maybe if he can try and have better exits through these section of corners, but still Ghiotto's got enough of a gap in front to stay in front of Norris at this stage of the race as they feed their way round turn 3 now then on the track. As meantime, it now puts Gasly into the points as he now starts to reel in on Lynn as Lynn starts to drop back from Masashita at this stage of the race as they exit out of turn 3. Stroll trying to pile the pressure on Norman Nato as they go down the back straight towards the hairpin. Gasly doing whatever he can to get hold of these guys in front as they enter into the hairpin now then. As you can see, Lando Norris heading down the hill towards the chicane. And still there's a bit of a gap between them at this stage. Lynn now starting to try and close in. He looked like he broke a little bit later than Masashita did into turn 4 there. So Lynn doing whatever he can to pile the pressure as Kamara is finally into the pits to repair that rear wing. But I fear that he's now going to be a lap down as a result. So Seti Kamara's race has been ruined. He's probably now just going to be chasing for the fastest lap if he can, trying to get that bonus point. Well, so far he is holding on to it, but he'll look to try and increase that if he can to stop anybody else and trying to grab that fastest lap away from Ghiotto now, starting to form a gap to Norris as Rosenqvist starts to close in on Lando Norris for second place as they approach the final corner on the track. So now we're starting lap 9 of 21, and Seti Kamara is now a lap down as he's coming out of pit lane now then. So they feed their way around turn 1. Kamari joins right in front of the battle for 4th between Masashita and Lynn. Lynn has closed back in, has got into the slipstream, leaving Gasly behind for the moment. Gasly will look to pounce upon any mistake if he can as they come out of turn 3. Will Lynn get the move done this time on Nobuharu and Masashita as they come down the back straight towards the hairpin? He's in the slipstream. He looks to the inside. Will he get the move done? Masashita covers him off as they go down towards the hairpin. Will Lynn try this time? And he's not close enough. Remains behind him at this stage of the race as Nato goes defensive at the expense of Stroll. Ghiotto, unseen by the cameras, has passed Vip, so he's up into 9th place and now chasing after this battle for 7th between Nato and Stroll. And in fact, Vips is even right onto the back of this as well, so it's a 4-way scrap for 7th place emerging in this race. As now through the left-hander we go, and as you can see, Norris continuing to fall back from Ghiotto as Rosenqvist gets closer and closer again to Lando Norris's rear end as they now feed the car round the right-hander now then on the track. As meantime, Lynn trying everything he can to get over Masashita. Gasly closing back in to that battle in front. Into the last chicane we go. Norris currently in 2nd, fending off from Rosenqvist at this stage now as they go down the pit straight now then towards turn 1. And Ghiotto so far looking comfortable in front and trying to see if he can grab his second victory of the season, and his, I believe it will be his 4th career victory in GP2. So that'll be that really as far as he's concerned, and he will be tied at this stage with Sergey Sirotkin if I'm correct, because Sirotkin of course retired after beaching it after making contact with Vries in a dramatic spin down this straight, and of course that incident is being investigated after the race. As you can see now, Rosenqvist getting close now to the backside of Lando Norris. Seti Kamara is getting closer. I wonder if he's going to try and unlap himself at this stage now then as the top 3 negotiate their way round the chicane, round the left-hander we go, and now through the section of corners we go on the track now then before heading down the hill towards the 2nd chicane. And so now into that 2nd chicane we go on the track now then, down the hill we go before approaching the final few corners on the track as they just feed their way around these final 4 corners now then we go up towards the last chicane on the track. And so through the final few corners, Rosenqvist now right in the toe of Lando Norris as he feeds his way around the final corner onto the pit straight we go now then as he heads down towards turn 1. And as you can see, look in the background, look, Masashita under pressure again from Alex Lynn as they go into turns 2 and 3 on the track. And it's starting to rain where I am now then, so out of turn 3 we go, heading down the back straight. So if you can hear the rain in the background from the windowsill, as now Rosenqvist looks to the inside onto the back straight. Norris covers him up, or will Rosenqvist try and get a run him onto the hairpin? Norris goes defensive as now Rosenqvist does a dummy down him down the hairpin. Has he got enough to get hold of him? No. Norris just able to hang it around the outside to fend off 2nd for now. As down the inside goes Lynn on Masashita, and he takes the place. Up into 4th place goes Alex Lynn, finally getting the move done on Nobuharu Masashita, and now Masashita into the clutches of yesterday's winner Pierre Gasly as they feed their way around the chicane now then. Gasly trying to find a way through. Masashita goes defensive into that left-hander there then as he fends off from Pierre Gasly at this stage of the race as they feed their way around the section of corners heading down the hill towards the 2nd chicane now then. Gasly looking racy, going to look to the inside into the chicane, but not. Masashita covers him off, keeps hold of 5th place for the moment, and now Gasly's going to have to try and brake later into the corner if he wants to run down the back straight, because now Masashita's got a bit of a gap as a result of Masashita closing the door into that 2nd chicane. Meantime, back to this battle for 2nd between Norris and Rosenqvist as now Ghiotto has started lap 12 of the race, so we have 10 laps remaining in this sprint race. We're 10 minutes away from the 4:30 mark, so we're 40 minutes away from the French Grand Prix. As now out of turn 3 we go. Rosenqvist getting a run on Lando Norris as they come down the back straight towards the hairpin. Rosenqvist looks to the inside. Will he get the move done? Norris shuts the door. Will Rosenqvist try and do a dummy again as he tucks up into his slipstream? Rosenqvist had a thought about it, but Norris covers him off. Keeps hold of 2nd place. Gasly not close enough to make a move on Masashita. Masashita still at the same time defending inside as Kamara sets the fastest lap of 1:18.008. So he is holding on to the bonus points. So as now Stroll is right on the prowl of this battle as unseen by the cameras he got by on Nato. As now Nato is falling into the clutches of Ghiotto. Ghiotto leaving Vips behind for dust. at this stage, as Vips is slowly being hunted down by Lucas Jora's VorteX racing car. So that's that really as far as they're concerned. As going through the section of corners now, then go the top three. Rosenqvist still trying to get a run on him if he can for second place. And Rosenqvist looking to try and increase his lead a little bit more, up to 13 points if he can, if he's able to find a way through on Lando Norris, with Russell outside the points after he crashed out yesterday. The final corner and onto the pit straight we go. Will Rosenqvist get the move done on Lando Norris as he comes down towards turn 1 on the track? Round turn 1 we go. And then through turns 2 and 3. As Rosenqvist looks to try and get better traction, and Nice coming out of this third corner now then. Will Rosenqvist try the move this time as he tries to get in the slipstream of Lando Norris now then, down the back straight towards the hairpin, and he's not close enough to make the move. Meantime, what about Gasly on Matsushita? I don't think he's close enough again to make the pass on the Japanese driver. Matsushita still goes defensive as Gasly gets close in the slipstream, but still unable to find a way through. Matsushita keeping hold of 5th place. Stroll getting closer now to the back of his former teammate Pierre Gasly as they head down the hill towards the first chicane now then on the track, as Yura now slowly starting to get into the clutches of Yuri Vips. And so now, as you can see, Kamara in 21st at the moment, and in fact he's it must be said that he's, well, I don't know what lap he's on, to be honest. Is he on the same lap as these guys? No, he must have made another mistake somewhere, because he's now right down at the back of the pack. So Kamara a lap down amongst everybody, and pretty much his race over with. I wonder if he had to let people through, in fact. So that's that for him, really, as far as he can tell. Ghiotto still leading, and I think Norris and Rosenqvist are starting to close him back in as well. So the race effectively not over yet. As going through turn 1 we go. Rosenqvist still quite a bit behind Norris, as he tries to get second off him as best he can, as they feed their way around turn 3 on the track now then. Out of the third corner, heading down at the back straight towards the hairpin, and it looks like again Rosenqvist not close enough to make an attack on Norris down into the hairpin, and stays behind him for the time being. As meantime, will Gasly try a run on Matsushita this time as they head down towards the hairpin? Is Gasly going to get the run on Nobuharu Matsushita? He's going to look to the inside. Is Gasly going to grab 5th from Matsushita into the hairpin? Has he got the place? Matsushita still sticking with him at this stage. They go side by side down the hill towards the chicane. I think Gasly's got the edge on him, and yes he has. Up into 5th place goes Pierre Gasly. He gets the move done on Matsushita, and into P5 goes yesterday's winner, as Matsushita's still sticking with him, but now Matsushita also at the same time in the clutches of Lance Stroll as they now go through the chicane, as Nato still having to fend off from Sean Galisle at this stage of the race, as Matsushita now trying to hold on to this final points place from Lance Stroll as they head down the hill towards the chicane. As meantime, as you can see, Rosenqvist trying to get back on the prow of Lando Norris as they now approach the final corner, and heading down the pit straight now then. Ghiotto is about to start lap 15 of 21 now then, so 7 laps remaining in this sprint race for Luca Ghiotto as they go around turn 1 flat as you go through turns 2 and 3. So Rosenqvist now they're right on the prowl of Norris. Can he try and get second this time from the Brit as they go down the back straight in the slipstream of the Lightbase Sony racing car? He looks to the inside into this bit, backs out of it. Will he try dummy down into the hairpin now then? He tucks up, and Norris defends the inside to keep on the second place for the moment in this race. As at meantime now then, Stroll looks to the inside of Matsushita. Will he get the move done on him now then? Down the inside into the hairpin, and he gets the place. Up into 6th place goes Lance Stroll in the GLM, and he finds himself into the points. Matsushita outside the points as a result. Galisle looks like he's starting to drop back a bit from Nato, or he's just not being able to get close to his slipstream at this stage. But up into 6th place goes Lance Stroll. Now does he have the pace to potentially get Gasly for P5 now then, as they go around those section of corners into that first chicane now then goes Felix Rosenqvist as he rounds these last few corners on the track now then. Will Rosenqvist try and get hold of Norris for second place now then, as they go up towards the final chicane, round the right, then the left, and then up towards the final corner we go as they head down the pit straight and up towards turn 1 we will go on the track. And now through turn 1 they go as they'll round turn 2 and 3. Round we go out of the corner now then, as they will now head down the back straight towards the hairpin, And Rosenqvist doesn't look close enough to get him this time around. It looks like the pair of them are starting to catch back up to Luca Ghiotto at this stage. The race leader with 6 laps remaining. Lynn getting close to the battle as well. So Lynn could fancy his chances at a podium if he can. As they round these section of corners now then on the track. As they now approach the hairpin now then on the track. As now into those section of corners we go. And so now down towards the chicane we will go, as Masashita just negotiates around those section of corners, and he will now go through the left-hander. And now through we go, into these sections we go, as Stroll not getting close now to the back of Pierre Gasly. As meantime now Rosenqvist back on the prowl of Lando Norris as he tries to get second place from the Brit as they head down towards the last chicane on the track. As now, as they come up towards the final corner, Ghiotto will have 5 laps to go when he crosses the line as he starts lap 17 of 21 in this sprint race as they head down the pit straight towards the flat out turn 1 on the track. Rosenqvist looks to try and get a run on Norris. Will he finally grab second place from the Brit now then as he rounds turn 3 on the track? Out of turn 3 we go. Out of the corner, using a lot of curb on the outside as he head down at the back straight towards the hairpin. Will Rosenqvist get the move done? And is he going to get the place? He wasn't able to do that time, but can he do a dummy down into the hairpin? Norris defends the inside and covers Rosenqvist off from doing any sort of dummy, and keeps hold of second place for the moment in this race. Goliath, meantime, still trying to get on hold of Nato, but so far just seems to be struggling at this stage of the race, and just seems to be settling into a rhythm in 9th place at the moment. As now we come through the section of corners, will Rosenqvist get Lando this time? He's trying to get up close. At the same time, the pair of them are closing back up to race leader Luca Ghiotto, so we have a battle for the lead in the closing stages of this sprint race as they now round these final few corners on the track before approaching the last chicane. A lot of curb being used on the outside as they approach the last 3 corners on the track then. Round the right, then the left, and then up towards the final corner we go as he tries to break that a little bit later, using a lot of curb on the inside as they head down the pit straight towards turn 1. Will Rosenqvist get the move done on Norris this time around? 4 laps remaining in this sprint race. We're on lap 18 of 21 now then here, and Rosenqvist looks to try and get a run on Norris this time around, but can he actually pull off the move this time and actually keep in mind about a potential dummy being covered off from Norris? As now they go around the right hand, Rosenqvist still unable to get the move done as they go down the back straight now. Then will Rosenqvist pull the dummy off? He's going to look to the inside. Will Rosenqvist finally pull the move off on Norris? And again, Norris just hangs it around the outside to keep on a second. Lynn now getting close to that battle himself as he looks to try and get onto the podium as well. But again, Norris doing a good job to fend him off and keeps on a second. Ghiotto having a little bit more breathing space as a result of Norris having to fend off from Rosenqvist. And a lock up there from Rosenqvist down into that corner, showing how much he's pushing hard in this race. As now they come down towards the second chicane on the track. Round towards this second chicane now. They're on the right and left hander we go as they now approach the final 4 corners on the track. As a lot of curb being used on the outside as they head down towards the final chicane. And so round the final few corners, round the right, then the left, and then up towards the final corner we go. A lot of curb being used as they head down the pit straight now, then towards the first corner. And Ghiotto still with a bit of a gap as we have 3 laps remaining now then in this sprint race. Lap 19 of 21 through turns 1, 2 and 3. We go on the track now then as he exits out of turn 3. Using a lot of curb on the outside as they head down the back straight now. Then will Rosenqvist get the move done on Lando Norris as they head down towards the hairpin? And will Rosenqvist getting the move done this time? He's going to do the dummy this time. Norris wasn't expecting it down the inside into the hairpin. Has he got it? No, again. Norris just able to hold him off. Keeps on a second. Lynn brought more closer now to that fight. And it could soon turn into a 3-way scrap for second as Ghiotto taking advantage and starts to get away from the rest of the pack as he looks to chase his 2nd victory of the season and his 4th of his career. As that would help nicely in EMR's Teams Championship bid as they are battling with Lightbase Sony Racing in the Teams Championship. At the moment, if it stays like this, because coming into this race it was 2 points between them, it will be back down to 1 point as a result of Ghiotto being in first and Nato and Norris in second. Their teammates not in the points, of course. Sirotkin retired earlier on, that's Ghiotto's teammate, and Nato currently down in 8th, which is outside the points. Unless he sets the fastest lap, then it will be still 2 points by the end of it. But at this rate, it's currently being held on to by Sergey Sirotkin as Ghiotto starts the penultimate lap of this sprint race now. Then as Rosenqvist tries again on Lando Norris, but it looks like Norris has got a bit of a gap in front of Rosenqvist on this lap as they go through turns 2 and 3 on the track. Around they go. Out of the exit of the corner. A lot of curb being used on the outside as they head down the back straight towards the hairpin. And will Rosenqvist pull it off? And it doesn't look like he's close enough to make the move on Norris, and it looks like Norris has got enough of a gap in front. As it looks like Lynn's now right onto the backside of Rosenqvist, so he could try and snatch a final podium place off Rosenqvist, maybe catch him unawares, we don't know. Stroll just doesn't have the pace of Gasly. Looks like Gasly's going to do enough for 5th place. He's too far back from that battle for 2nd, and looks like 5th place is going to do for the Frenchman. So Norris continues to get away from him in their battle for 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, as he's currently up in 2nd place, but having to fend off from Rosenqvist and Lynn at this stage of the race as they now approach the chicane. And Norris still with enough of a gap, but he's got to lock up through into that 2nd chicane, and that could bring Rosenqvist right back into it. He's right back in the slipstream now of Lando Norris, and that could prove costly on the next lap if that is the case. Meantime, here is Luca Ghiotto just rounding the final few corners now then, up towards the final corner, and Luca Ghiotto is about to start his final lap here at Magny-Cours. And, well, he started in 2nd place, didn't have a good start, and just didn't seem to have the pace of Sergey Sirotkin. But then, but he was pretty much gifted the lead after Sirotkin went off at turn 3. And from that point, he was able to control the pace, and he's looking good to grab his 2nd victory of the season. Meantime, back to this battle for 2nd. Rosenqvist with a run on Norris. Will he get him into the hairpin this time on the final lap? Down into the hairpin. He's going to look to the inside. Will he finally grab 2nd from Lando Norris into the hairpin? Has he got the place? No. Norris again covers him off into the hairpin and keeps hold of 2nd place. And I think that will do enough, as now Norris has got a bit of a gap in front of Rosenqvist. That was probably Rosenqvist's last chance, unless he can get close enough towards the end, then maybe he could try dive into the last chicane. But, well, he wasn't able to get the move done as a result, and it looks like it's going to be P2 for Norris if he can just hold on into these final 6 corners on the track and keep on of this 2nd place in this race. As now it looks like he does have a bit of a gap, so I think Norris has done enough to hold on to 2nd place. But meantime, here is Luca Ghiotto as he comes up towards the final few corners. He has done a stunning job since he took the lead. Round the final corner he goes, and it is going to be Luca Ghiotto who wins the sprint race here at Magny-Cours. Congratulations to him and the East Midlands Racing team. It's his 2nd victory of the season after a whole lot of luck that happened in front. Lando Norris finishes in 2nd. Felix Rosenqvist increases his lead in the championship in 3rd. Lynn 4th. Gasly 5th. Stroll 6th. Matsushita 7th. Nato 8th. Goliath close behind in 9th. Vips in 10th. Urrutia 11th. Fenestraz is going to cross the line in 12th position. It's going to be Russell 13th. He loses more points to Rosenqvist in the championship. The gap now being 12 points. As out of the race on the final lap, I think that said Jolyon Palmer. I think that said Palmer has retired on the last lap. And whereabouts is he on the track? And we'll have to try and see if we can try and catch him a little bit later on. He will be classified in 20th though, and it is Jolyon Palmer who is out of the race. We'll try and see if we can try and catch him as everybody rounds these final few corners. Let's see if we can try and catch him somewhere around the track, and I think we have missed him. So what happened to Palmer, he's retired on the last lap, but will be classified in 20th, not 21st, because Sirotkin was a lap down behind him. And, well, that's that really. Russell 13th. As mentioned in the Red Bull Academy. Sorry for that little technical hitch there from RE Central. Razia 14th, Eriksson 15th, Urrutia 16th, De Vries 17th, Tictum 18th, Evans 19th, and Sirotkin 21st with Palmer in 20th. So there you have it then, guys. After all of that, Luca Ghiotto is the winner here at Magny-Cours. And, well, it's his 2nd victory of the season after a whole lot of luck that happened to Sergey Sirotkin. So there you have it then, guys. After all of that, here is the results of the sprint race here at Magny-Cours. Luca Ghiotto won the race with Lando Norris in 2nd, Felix Rosenqvist 3rd, Alex Lynn 4th, Pierre Gasly 5th, Lance Stroll rounding off the points in 6th, Nobuharu Matsushita 7th, Norman Nato 8th, Sean Goliath 9th, Yuri Vips 10th, Lucas Urrutia 11th, Sasha Fenestraz 12th, George Russell 13th, Louis Razium in 14th, And if you scroll down the rest of the field, it's Joel Eriksson 15th, Santiago Urrutia 16th, Nyck de Vries under investigation in 17th, Dan Ticktum 18th, with Mitch Evans 19th, Jolyon Palmer of course classified in 20th, with Sergey Camaro the last of the finishers in 21st. The only retirement classified was Sergey Sirotkin in the East Midlands racing car. So let's see who's at the fastest lap of the race then, who's going away with the bonus point. And it was Sergey Camaro with a 1 minute 18.008. So he will get the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, salvaging something in this race after what could have been a victory for the young Brazilian. He was 6 times quicker than championship leader Felix Rosenqvist. So there you have it, guys. That has been it for GP2 this weekend. I'll be back next weekend at Hockenheim. But stick around now, guys, because coming up next is the main event, the 71-lap French Grand Prix, which sees Lewis Hamilton on pole position ahead of Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen. So if you want to go and grab a quick drink, then you can. The podium for GP2 is coming your way just after this. But until then, I've been JWF1. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Enjoy the GP2 podium.